Well, as you just saw, we have some dramatic tape out of Saskatchewan connected to the death of a passenger who was shot while driving along a highway outside of Weyburn in September. So let's take a look again at that footage that you just saw. It's the RCMP in Regina, Saturday morning, weapons drawn as they approach a Dodge Ram pickup. Eventually, a man gets out of the truck with his arms raised. RCMP now confirming he was arrested and charged with the death of Tanya Myers, the Weyburn, Saskatchewan resident who died traveling along Highway 39. Sarah Galashan continues to be on this story and following it. Dramatic video, of course, of that takedown. And finally, after weeks and weeks and weeks of mystery and frustration, police have the person who they believe was responsible for the shooting.
Yeah, and RCMP had a press conference today, and they were asked about the video. They said they knew about it. And they confirmed it was shot by a bystander and that it is the arrest of 42-year-old Chris Fulman. He was taken out of his vehicle at gunpoint. If you saw that video, it was pretty dramatic for a Saturday morning in Regina. And he was put in handcuffs and charges laid, 4 of them, in fact. He's charged with manslaughter with a firearm, careless use of a firearm, carrying a weapon with the purpose of committing an offense, and as well as being in a vehicle knowing that a firearm is inside. That last one there on its own wouldn't normally result in a charge or be illegal. But upon consulting with Crown Counsel, what the RCMP said is that all 4 of those charges relate to that single instance of manslaughter. And so as such, all 4 were deemed to be appropriate. They also talked about the decision to charge manslaughter as opposed to murder and the differences in what that actually says. Manslaughter charge being one that does not require intent. I want to play you the clip from the press conference about that.
Murder has an intent behind it, whereas manslaughter does not necessarily carry that intent. So the other charges that were laid in addition were done so in consultation with our Crown Counsel.
Now, there is plenty that they are not saying. In fact, the majority of that press conference was a lot of referring to the fact that this is before the court and that they won't reveal what's in their investigation. But chief among the things that they are not saying here is what tipped them to Chris Fulman, makes them believe that he is behind this. What was the firearm that was used? What do they believe actually happened that night? And that is a question that the people of Weyburn and specifically really wrestle with, the fact that this happened. It has left many, and had for weeks, as you pointed out, Ian, on edge. It was really a mystery that seemed difficult, at the very least, to solve. But here we are, and the RCMP believe that they have. Yeah, I mean, in the cryptic comments from the RCMP, it would suggest that they either don't believe that he planned to shoot and kill somebody, but, planned to shoot, but not to hit somebody in a car, or they at least don't have the evidence of that. Just one of the many, many questions we have still in this case. Yeah, a case that goes back to September 12th. That's when this happened. There were actually 2 vehicles, if you remember, that were actually struck. One was an SUV, and it was struck in the tire, and that driver didn't realize it had happened until maybe the next day and went to the RCMP. But in the case of the vehicle that Tanya Myers was traveling in, she was with a friend, and she was in the passenger seat along Highway 39. They were just northeast of Weyburn, which was home, and that's where they were headed. And then the shot rang out, and the driver, her friend, had said that it felt like something in her ears might explode. It was so loud. And it was when the paramedics arrived that they were able to then, others were able to inspect the vehicle and saw that the bullet had entered through the back of the SUV, gone through the passenger seat, and had struck and killed Tanya Myers. The town of Weyburn, as I say, has been on edge. We talked to residents and the mayor there, and there were those who were fearful of driving along Highway 39, at least for a period of time. And RCMP put out notices letting people know this had happened, encouraging the public to come forward with tips, saying that it could have been anybody who just maybe was in that area. If you saw anything, to come forward with that. And here's what we've learned since, that Chris Fulman has a Facebook account, and there was one of these RCMP notices that was reposted with the comment, "This is disgusting. What is this world coming to?" Now, police were also asked about this at the press conference, and they wouldn't comment on that post. Now that he has been arrested, this post is raising a lot of questions amongst those who've been following closely and waiting for something to be resolved here. And Ian, they are talking about wanting to see this play out in court, and hopefully that court process will provide them the answers. As far as court goes, Chris Follman did appear virtually in court in Regina today, and he's going to be before a judge again tomorrow.
So what we do know is the police clearly with these charges believe that he shot the gun that killed the woman. They don't believe that he was hunting, though.
That's right. That came up, and they said they didn't believe that hunting or poaching played into this.
So was he just shooting randomly at cars? Was he shooting at a target and missed? Those are things that we don't have the answer to.
Yeah, and as I say, that Facebook post that was reposted with that comment is raising a lot of questions as to what might have been behind that. But for that, we're not going to really get an answer. And his lawyer has said he won't be commenting on this, and that no one should, judge before it all plays out in court.
Okay, Sarah, thank you very much.
Yeah.